Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now on this Back to Work Monday. And after a pretty wet weekend, in fact, really, I should say a wet Saturday night around the area, unfortunately, the risk of severe weather, it's back in the region as we go through the day today. I mentioned the region because here in North Texas, even though we have a risk of severe weather, I think our opportunity of severe weather and even seeing a thunderstorm is going to be pretty low. Now, it's going to be a different story up across parts of Oklahoma. This may be a near miss for us here in North Texas, but right now the data is looking favorable for us, missing out on most of the severe weather today. What exactly does that mean? We're going to explain it over the next few minutes. So mid to lower 80s for daytime highs. And again, you can see pretty breezy southerly winds, a mix of sun and cloud cover. But notice your storm probability in the Metroplex. It's only 20%. In fact, all across North Texas today, it's only a 20% probability. But as you look at radar, at least so far this morning, it's completely quiet. In fact, you would not even know that in our region, there would be an opportunity of higher end severe weather. But again, that will begin to potentially unfold as we go through the afternoon. So several interesting things going on as we go through the day. So number one, locally here in North Texas, kind of our saving grace or our mini miracle, if you will. You know, so often through the spring, we talk about the cap or the warm air of the warm layer of air aloft that likes to suppress thunderstorm development. It's going to be strong today. The way it looks, it is going to try and suppress almost any thunderstorm development in North Texas. You get just across the Red River, the cap is going to be weaker. We've got a big upper level storm system coming in with strong jet stream motion. And the way it looks, literally just across the Red River, that could be a pretty violent day of severe weather across Oklahoma. The other thing we have going in our favor, the main upper level storm system area spin, it's going to be well off to the north, taking some of the dynamics, again, skewing those further north. So even though we're kind of within the fringes of the severe potential here in North Texas, like I mentioned, I really think things are going to work out for us. Again, we'll talk more about that piece coming up. But going forward in time, upper level storm system moving through the Great Plains today, again, posing that risk of significant severe weather in the area. Once that moves out over the next several days, we have zonal flow with the jet stream. We'll watch for storms along the dry line well to our west almost each and every day. And then you can see by this weekend, here comes one more storm system before we close out the week. And by the weekend, that may also offer another opportunity of rain and storms. Now, this is what I'm talking about by a near miss. You can see red in North Texas, but look from the Red River Valley all the way up in Oklahoma City, where you're seeing the area of white right there. That is a very rare 5 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center, high risk of severe weather, right? That's the end. There's no additional categories. Again, we go sometimes years without seeing that, right? But that is in effect just to our north. But again, the bottom line is, and the important information for us locally, while we do have a risk of severe weather, again, we may not necessarily even see a storm. If we were to see a storm, again, there would be a tornado threat with it, a large damaging hail and wind threat. Again, if the bottom line is if we see a storm, again, you can see your tornado zone as we go through the day locally. Now, here's the important information. As we go through the morning, you can see a couple showers are possible, right? But that's not necessarily a big deal. As we go through the afternoon during peak heating, look at the modeling here. What do you see? You basically see nothing, right? So that's the good news. The model right now not depicting any thunderstorm development. But again, if our daytime highs, like for example, forecasting mid 80s in the Metroplex, 84, say for some reason we reach 86, again, we can maybe get a little bit closer to breaking the cap. So even though it looks like right now it's going to be a near miss and we don't necessarily see storms, we still need to stay vigilant as we go through the day. We'll be monitoring the data, the environmental conditions, and of course, if anything changes, we're going to let you know. But right now, again, it's only that 20% opportunity. Again, very humid as we go through the day, lower to mid 70s. Those were your dew points, again, all day long, 80s to in the 70s, upper 70s. Those would be your evening temperatures. Still a 20% opportunity of a stray shower thunderstorm even through the evening. And then overnight tonight, most of us in the 70s, but where the air mass is quite a bit drier out in our western counties, Graham down to 59 tomorrow morning. Temperatures build tomorrow more in the way of mid 80s around the area. And in fact, by Wednesday, we may be talking about temperatures around 90.